Hello again from my front porch, where it is a warm and toasty day already here in Iowa. It's just the morning, but we're looking at another 80-some degree day today. So it's even though it's the morning, it is already getting plenty warm here on the porch. I have not opened the windows yet to let the air in. We'll see, I might do that, but it's warm enough that all the wasps have woke up and so I see them flying around out there. In fact, I already see a couple of dead ones in here already in the porch, so may have to do the spraying. I hate that. You know, I look forward to the warmer weather, the green grass, but the bugs, I could do without the bugs. I know they serve a purpose, but I could still do without the bugs. Anyway. What I really wanted to talk about is lately there have been some conversations I've had with some people that really got me thinking about this, about how we as adults lie to ourselves a lot. And I mean, it's just stupid stuff. Like just recently here, I went over to see my parents, and I knew I was going to want to head out as soon as I could in the morning. And so the night before, I was out running errands, and I looked at my gas gauge, and I knew I did not have enough gas to make the trip. And so I did that. Well, do I want to get gas now on the way home, or do I want to wait and get it in the morning? I got it that night, which was good because, you know, I wound up having some emails to deal with and some stuff, and then scrambling to get out the door. Would have been frustrating to have to stop and get gas in the morning, as it often is. A lot of times we as adults tell ourselves that lie. You need gas? I'll get it in the morning. And then it becomes just another stressful addition onto the list of things we're trying to scramble to get done at the last minute. Partly because another lie that we tell ourselves is just 15 more minutes. Laying in bed, just 15 more. Your alarm goes off. Just 15 more minutes. And then we begin to rationalize with ourselves. That alarm goes off and we look at the time. Well, you know, I don't have to, you know, and then we set the time again for another. Or some of us even know we do that so much that we have set a series of snooze. I'm not one of those. I usually set 2 times. I set the ideal time that I like to get up, and then what is my latest fallback? Of course, I do that enough that my brain now is wired to blow off the first alarm. It goes off, hit it, just be like, okay, 15 minutes more. The wind has been kicking up a lot, and so I got stuff. I got my sinuses are giving issue and making me cough a lot. But so I apologize for that. But these lie, just one more episode. Just one more episode as we're binge watching our favorite TV show. Or a kind of a corollary of that is it happens to me all the time. Well, I'm just gonna sit down for a few minutes and relax, watch some TV. Yeah, baloney. I'm gonna sit there, relax, and my eyes are gonna close, and then like 2.5 hours later, I'm gonna wake up again and be like, "What happened to that show I was watching?" My funny story about that. My dad, probably when he was my age, he came. One day in particular, he did this a lot, but one day in particular, he came home from work, and he was tired, and he lay down on the couch, and the Love Boat was on in the evening. It was still just on, actually, at the time. And so he's watching Love Boat. And of course, Love Boat, was a show that had every episode different guest stars, different stories that were being explored. And so he's laying there on the couch and he's watching some Love Boat, and then he dozes off. Sometime later in the evening, he wakes up. But at this point, Love Boat had been on TV for so long that earlier episodes were in syndication. They were in reruns. And this same channel was showing, Love Boat was still so popular, this same channel was showing Love Boat reruns later in the evening, which is when my dad woke up. And he woke up later on the couch, Love Boat is on, and he got frustrated because he laid there trying to watch it, and he's like, where did these people come from, and what's the deal with that? Where it happened to the other guy? See, that's what happens when you're like, I'm just gonna rest for a minute. Just gonna rest my eyes. That's another addition to that. Not I'm just gonna rest. I'm just gonna rest my eyes for a minute. The timing. A minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Usually it's a minute or 5 minutes, but we lie about time frames. Hey, when are you gonna be ready? Give me 5 minutes. Hey, when are you gonna be ready to go? Give me 5 minutes. Hey, when are you gonna take the garbage out? Just a minute. And it never is done that quickly. It's always longer. Another funny story about that happened just this week. One of my team members, I tried calling her to talk about a project, and she didn't answer, but she texted me back and said that she was in the middle of something. She would call me back in a minute. Okay. An hour and a half later, she calls me up. And the first thing I said was, "Wow, that's a long minute. I gotta get my watch checked." And she laughed and said, "Hold on, let me go back and edit that message I sent." But we do that. We do that all the time. And there's a lengthy list of these kind of lies that we tell ourselves. And so this general topic came up in conversation recently, and I thought it was really funny. But then as I tend to do, I often go to the why. Why do we do that? Why are we dishonest with ourselves and especially with others, and just make up stuff like that? Why can't we just be truthful? Why don't we just say, you know what? Right now, I'm feeling kind of tired. I think maybe I should go to bed early. Or, this is taking me longer to do this than I thought. I'm going to need like 30 minutes before. Why are we not more honest with people like that? And you could get really deep and thoughtful about this stuff. In fact, there's probably people right now with millions of dollars in funding to research this very thing. I don't have that money. So I'm just going to, my brain went to, I think we are overwhelmed. I think we stretch ourselves too thin. We overcommit to obligations. And we don't want to be guilty of letting someone else down, even ourselves. But like when we say, I'm just going to sit down I'm just going to rest my eyes, we're saying that generally to somebody else or in response to other stuff we know we could be doing, maybe even should be doing, but we're making excuse for ourselves to sit down and to take a nap instead. Why? Because for whatever reason, we are not able to just honestly say, I can't fulfill this specific criteria of this obligation. I don't want to let you down, and yet I'm going to anyway. I know in my case, I served as president of the Filipino American Society of Iowa, which is a great organization, wonderful people, and I'd like to think that I made some positive differences. But I ceased in that role at the end of this last calendar year here for multiple reasons, actually. But among the primary reasons were I just didn't have time. I found myself being stretched way too thin between work and my parents and my personal life. Lisa, my girlfriend, likes to see me now and again. But so I found all of those things taking up time. And then there was also the ever-increasing obligations and responsibilities with that role. And I had to cut something loose. And, all the stuff over here, I can't really cut any of this loose. But that one I could. Also, I was not Filipino. You may have noticed. And, the Filipino American Society of Iowa really should be, the leader should be a Filipino. And so that was for the better anyway. But I will tell you this. I have found the instances in which I feel so stretched, so just exhausted, I've found those instances to be greatly reduced now that I removed one thing from my plate because I had overcommitted. It's not that thing, not the Filipino group was not a bad thing, but I had overcommitted. I had put myself out saying that I would do this, and I could not do all of that. And so I was prone to lying to myself a lot on a lot of things. And now, does it still happen? Sure, it still happens. In fact, just a couple of nights ago, I was watching a couple of recorded shows on TV. I got home later in the evening and I watched one, and there was one more, and I literally sat there on the couch thinking, I am tired. I could watch this tomorrow. Nah, I'll just watch it. And as I hit play, I got about 10, 15 minutes in, and I rationalized in my mind that I can just rest my eyes while this is on. I can listen. And then when it sounds like something exciting is going on, I can watch again. You know what? I don't remember anything else that happened the rest of that episode. When I woke up much later, the show was long gone. It was back to regular TV, and I had no clue what was going on, but I hauled myself to bed, and the next day I wound up watching that episode anyway, which is what I should have done in the first place, but I told a lie to myself that I can do this. I could not. But anyway, I don't think it's all bad that we do. I'm not saying that you're a bad person if you do this kind of thing. I think it's just human nature. I think we just all do this. But my challenge to you is to, just like what I did. If you find yourself seeming to chronically be telling those kind of lies to yourself and to others, where you're stretching reality, I'll be ready in a minute, and it's actually going to be half an hour or longer, or whatever your go-to examples of that may be. Stop and consider maybe you have just too much going on. Now, you may not have a lot of control over that. Maybe all the stuff you have going on is stuff that you can't get rid of anything. But consider if there is something you can either get rid of, or at the very least, if there's something you can scale back your involvement with. That may help you tremendously. And it's not going to eliminate it, because I think, again, it's human nature. We just do it. But it might be helpful. Something to consider. And now, in the comments below, feel free to add in what your favorite adult lies that you tell to yourself are, or the ones you've heard other people use, the ones might even that frustrate you. Feel free to chime in, and let's make a list to archive for future generations. All right. You may be able to I can feel I'm starting to sweat. It's warm enough out here. It's like a little hot box in here with the windows all closed and stuff like this. It heats up fast. So to save I don't know, maybe I could sweat off some pounds. I'm going to let you go. I will see y'all next time from my front porch.